right away. Okay, welcome again to another interesting class with cloud training for enthusiasts. I'm Osatoame Patrick Agbogun. So we are continuing our class yesterday. Yesterday we talked about we introduced ourselves as into cloud. Then we talked about the different tiers of cloud, the introduction, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. We talked about the benefit of cloud, then the risk, the cost, the ethics, and the public and the cloud computing. Then we also went ahead to define cloud computing. And when we emphasize on the keyword ubiquitous, which means the cloud is everywhere, then on demand that it must be based on the demand of the user. 3, must have a very broad network. Resource pooling, it is not actually scalability. Resource pooling actually means for you to have one resources, are you getting me? And the same resources, you can also refer to it when you are also launching on another resources. For example, you can create a VPC. Are you getting me? You can create a VPC and also use that same network to launch your server. You understand me? You can also have a memory. You can also have a memory and so use the same memory, one memory. You also use it for like 4 or 5 servers. You understand me? So that act is called resource pooling. They'll talk about elasticity, how we can expand, short, especially when there's load. Can you remember now? Can you still remember? And I said when there's peak load, we increase the server. When there's no load, we shut down we reduce the server. Then we talked about measured service, like I want you use the service based on what you have. You can say, okay, please, I want it to be when your server is no longer available. So that idle period, say, give it to me. Or you pay based on what you want, you understand me? So you can schedule, that's called measured service, it's measured. They talk about agile, meaning as you are working on it, somebody is seeing it from the other side. So that's what we talked about yesterday in our first class. So today we are going to go into the main class, which is we're going to go into our service in generally. So if you are with your laptop, you can just go to Hello?
Is it possible to do this without, do this without using card?
Without using what pad?
Mastercard.
Well, if you go to AWS site, I'll show you something. If you go to AWS site, it's not compulsory you do it now. You may do it later. Are you getting me? If you are not really relaxed, maybe you are not with your card here. But the truth is that if you go to their site now, if you can see my screen, Amazon, Amazon.web, AWS.com, AWS.amazon.com. If you come here, you will see login or create an account. You say sign up, you click sign up. Why I want us to do it together, so as I'm doing it, you're also doing your own. You understand me? Then after you click sign up, it will load to a page. Like me, I already have an account. So that's why it's telling me that I already have an account. But if you are a new user, it will tell you to sign up as a new user. So for me, okay, let me say sign up as a new, let me just go to, so place that, okay. Let's say, you see, create an AWS account. You can see that place.
Yes.
You click. Yes. When you click it, it will tell you to supply your email. So I'm supplying this email now, opike2001@gmail.com. Or let me use another email. Let me use osatohame AIG at gmail.com.
Okay.
So this is what I want us to. As I'm working now, you are also working.com. Then password.
Okay.
You put a very strong password. Let's say I'm putting my password. I put this. Then you repeat the password again. Then the name you want to call your own user, your own account, your name. Most times, if you are working for a company, is the company details you put here. You understand me? Then you put the company detail, you put your official email, like me is at gemoworld.com. You understand me? I can say this is another company email. I can say info at gemoworld.com.ng. You understand me? This is the company that is in charge of this training, that is doing this training for us. The name of the company is Gemo World Global Resources Limited. So I will now say password. I can put the name. I can say, okay, cloud enthusiast _ enthusiast. So I want it to be called cloud enthusiast. I may not, let me just move the E. So for security reason, we need to verify the account holder are real people. So he is asking me for this CAPTCHA. So as I'm doing this, I want you to be doing your own. You understand me? So that we will have the account. But if you may decide to do it later, but it's better we do it together so that we'll launch it to the site.
I will do it later because I'm using the laptop for the Zoom.
Okay.
And I don't want to be moving up and down. I only have one laptop at home. So just keep on continuing. I can sign up myself, but the main work is to be using the resources inside the AWS.
Yes, the real work is to have an account with AWS. Do you have a business account? Do you have a business email?
No.
Okay, if you have a business email, like any email that is like like this one, you see,
It's not Gmail
that is not Gmail.
Yahoo.
Yes, because they always support it. They have a way of supporting it. You see this part? Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
You see this part? This is where you fill in your data.
Yeah.
I think I have my own. This is where you put your credit card. They will collect $1, just $1. They will return it back to you. Let me put this my card. Let me use a Visa card. But I already have an account, so I don't need it. But
let's use your creating a new account may just be a duplicate.
It just be a duplicate. So, but the reason this is one of the challenge some of my students always have. Whenever we are starting our training like this, they will delay.
Yeah.
They will say, I will do it later. No, it's very easy now as we are starting, and you can notice that it's very easy now. But if you did not follow with us, it becomes a bit difficult. Because by the time you want to now come and do it yourself, that's when you now realize that it's not easy.
Not that easy.
So that's why I always say, now you just follow us. That's why we are doing practical class. I'm putting my details according to the way it is on my card. God. Okay. If I'm going to share this thing, do I need to? Okay, use my email address, verify. So it's asking me confirm my identity. I'll say Nigeria. Are you getting me? Then my phone number. They say I should put my security 6PX 6ZB. Then I want to send an SMS to my phone. The challenge is that this is my phone number. When you are putting your phone number, put it direct. The way you can send international number, YTPWXW, then go.
What about how be WM?
You said? It's still asking for this. Hold on, let me for another name.
That was 2SGD.
2SGD. Okay. H4 QP7S.
S.
Is asking for more security. I don't know why. Okay,
So if you can see the security check, we have.
Okay, I want to play the audio. Let me play audio. Sometimes that thing can delay, can cause some. Let me play audio.
Delay, okay.
You say there was a problem with your payment information. Okay, it's saying my card is not correct. For your identity, please confirm. He said there was a problem with your payment information. To continue, sign up to your account, update your payment. So I have to go back to update my payment. I know that card that I'm using is a credit card. So most times I like to use my normal debit card. So whenever I want to do anything like this, I always like using my normal debit card. So, but that is what you need to do. That if that stage that I got to, is the only stage. You really say we have 5 stages. After a year, I will now choose where I want my account to be. So you will choose Canada because you are in Canada. Me, I will choose South Africa. You understand me? So that your account will be close to you.
So we don't have any AWS data center in Nigeria.
No, we don't. Nigeria. We only have one data center in Africa. One cloud infrastructure in Africa is in South Africa for AWS. But for Azure, we have other places in Azure. But for AWS, just have just one. We only have one in Nigeria. In Africa, in South Africa, I mean. But there's an application, there's something called CloudFront in AWS. They help you to bring your data center close to you. You don't go, character, what did you say? Okay. So I will not need to waste most time here. So the only 2 things that is remaining after a year, that you put in your file, your account, the next thing, it will take you to where you want your this thing to be. You say my account is not clear enough. So I have to put another card. You understand me? I have to put another card and it will work.
You know what? Don't let account. I can follow through the video when want to open my own. Just let
Okay.
us go to the project.
Okay. So that's just the first. That's the first stage. Then after that, after you've created an account, they will send your email and the details. You now come and log in. You log in as a root
Okay.
user. First of all, you log in as a root user. Let me log in as a root user because of
Okay.
you. But for my own account, I've secured it. Are you getting me? That's the first thing I want us to learn, how to secure your account. W4 okay, capital W4 WXTZ. My password. Okay, now this is my MFA, which is something I'm going to see put to you. You understand me? You need to learn how to do this MFA. You understand me? MFA is called multi-factor authentication. It's just for you to secure your account so that somebody cannot log in after getting your access, your password and everything. You understand me? So it will help you more
So
relaxed. It will
this
help you.
MFA now is just like a second level security.
Yes. Second level security, we call it multi-factor authentication. You will download an application on your phone called any authenticator. For me, I'm using Google Authenticator. Are you with me?
Okay.
So after I put my password and my
Yeah.
username, they do not tell me to put those codes. It's like a token. The minute I put the code token, it will log me in. So if the code token is not correct, you understand me? So
It will not allow you.
do not allow me. Oh, so like this one, this is my account, the account I use my wife then I think it was my wife this thing I used, but I'm not coming here. It's not necessary. I don't need. This is my credit. Let me see how much I even have now. I was having 2.5 before. Let me see how much is remaining. Okay, it's remaining 800 US dollars. It's remaining 800 US dollars. So let's go to my project. Okay. Immediately you log in.
So before we can use it, we need to first of all put money there, right?
You don't need to, like me, I've been using it. So I've been having some money. They have been giving me some credits. I've been doing some training. I've been doing some bonanza, some bonuses, some money. So you can also put your money there. Though that's my credit. That is different from the money I have in my credit card. So immediately I finish exhausting that, then they will not. But if I'm using some resources that those credits did not cover, for example, I want to buy a web host account. Maybe I want to buy a domain name. They will not collect the domain name money from that account. They'll collect the domain name money from my account. Because there are some resources that money did not cover. You understand me? So we'll get to that part. We'll get to that part. So this is a typical. This is an AWS. You see what everything I'm showing you here is a data center. Is the resources in the data center. Everything you see here. You understand me?
I can see machine learning, analytics, front end web, and mobile. Oh my God.
So you see everything here. So If you want to go into security, you want to learn more about security, it's under identity and security compliance. Then if you want to learn about analytics, like a business analyst, this is where you design, you take any of application here. There are some application that EMRO, Redsheet, you know.
Anything you click here now, they are going to charge you, right?
No, for now, there are some that are free. There are some that they will charge me. And, you know, and if you create an account now, immediately you finish creating an account, I want to teach you how to set it up. That's one of our reasons, one of the things we will have to do today. So what I'm going to do, for this class, I'll give you like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, create an account. I need you to create an account. Because our lab will not be interesting if I'm the only one doing it. You understand me? I'll give you like 10 minutes now. Just create an account. Is that okay? With just log in the way I told you, create an account. So I'll be waiting for you. Because we need to set it up so that they will not be charging you unnecessarily. Since I've been using this account for the past 3 years now, I've not spent €1 except necessary. You understand me? They've not debited my money unnecessarily. You understand what I'm trying to say? But they have given me enough credit. So there's a way I set it up so that they will not be debiting you. There are some resources that you'll be using. Since we are not doing it for business for now, we are using it for training. So the resources we will be using will be free, all those free tier resources. Are you getting me? So that by the time we want to do the major work, we can also use the main. You understand? So I'm giving you 10 minutes now. Create the way I created that account.
My card is not here with me.
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you.
My card is with my wife.
Wow.
Hello?
I can hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Do you know what I will do?
My card is with my wife.
Okay, my card is with your wife. What I will do, okay.
Just continue and show me how to configure it. Later, I will open the account and follow the video, since we upload the video to the group.
Okay, you follow the video, then try and create it between today and tomorrow.
If I have any issue, I will contact you, book a time with you so that you can put me through on phone.
Okay. And secondly, by next class, I'm going to remove those of us that are already participating. I'll move us to another group. You understand me? I'll move us to another group in the same WhatsApp group, because so that we can know those that are coming to class. You understand me? We have students. I will show you, we have about 47 students. We have many students, but I like to focus on those that are available. You understand me? So people can still join that group so that I can share resources and share every information with you. So with what you have said now, I'm going to, by God's grace, before now and on Wednesday, try and create it so that by on Saturday our next class, you would have created it. So this is, if we were doing platform as a service, I don't need to teach you many things. All I will just look for is for platform that I know that is already available, and we'll just use it and create and launch our instances. You understand me? But I want us to start from IaaS, infrastructure as a service. I want us to start with infrastructure as a service. Maybe I mentioned infrastructure as a service to you. It's like knowing everything the AWS offer. Are you getting me? So we are going to start with knowing everything that the AWS offer. So I want to start learning everything about the most important thing about this environment. So this is what makes our class different from certification class. You understand me? So we're going to learn it, most of it. Then we'll now go into it and start using it. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now we are already here. Remember, I open it now. We are already here. If you go to that side, you see that we have, let's go back to our our lab, our AWS. Okay, first of all, I logged in as a root user. A root user in a system, it means the owner of the system. It's more than an administrator. I'm the owner of the system. I'm the one that AWS gave right to make use of the resources. I'm the one that signed up with AWS. So all the resources that AWS have to offer for as a cloud service, they are giving me right to use it. Are you getting me? And pay for it. So now I have my account because I'm the one that use my ATM to pay. Like I'm not the own, I'm the person that the company wants to be the interface between the AWS and them. So as the person that has these credentials, so I have the master rights. But it's not good because I have the master right. I want people to come and use the resources. People should not have the right to use the resources the way the owner of the resources have the rights. So I have to create an account for everybody that want to make use of the system. Are you getting me? And creating the account, I wanna tell them, Mr. John, this is what do you want to do with AWS? You say, Mr. John was Mr.
I understand. It's just like you are limiting what they can do. You can only give them what they can do with their job description.
Beautiful. So I'll give them the right. There are sometimes I don't need to give to one person the right. I can give to a group of people. I can say, okay, Julius, John, Peter. Like our first project we are going to do, our first POC we are going to do next week. I want to create I want to create a prototype of a company. And we want to act as the owner of the company as the owner of the company. I want to set up an infrastructure for admin department. That's our first project. So it's going to be fun.
Okay.
So and that's going to be fun. That's why I'm taking my time to do this. So that aspect that allocate resources to people based on their job description, that aspect of cloud is called IAM. It's under security, identity, and compliance. Security means that the people these people are the people that are securing the cloud. See, AWS you know what AWS said? That everything that have to do with on-prem infrastructure, they are responsible. But how you log into the system, you are responsible. So for me to be responsible, I should create some security structure. Are you getting me? On who and who not to use the resources. So that aspect that help to administer the cloud resources is called security, identity, and compliance department. And the first one is called IAM, which means identity and access management. So in this identity and access management, this is where I will now manage my admin. Admin means people that will administer the resources to people. That's the meaning of admin. It's about administration. It's about allocating rights, allocating policy, allocating user ID. You understand me? Allocating credentials to people so that they can use the resources. So that's the first one. This is the first thing you do when you open a cloud account. The first place you come to is here, IAM. Then this okay, let's be doing it one after the other. Let's not rush it. You understand me? Let's not rush it. So let's go to IAM. when I click IAM now, it's a simple click. You see the way I just clicked it. Even though you want to use code to enter the AWS, you must come here. You must know this thing. This place is the most important thing. So if you look at IAM, which is called Identity and Access Management, you can see it by the left-hand side, Identity and Access Management. Now you can see everything stated here. You can see IAM dashboard. You can see everything here. Okay, let's take it one step at a time. So the dashboard says access management, access report. You understand me? So access management and access report. Then under access management, we have user group, we have users, we have rule, we have policy, we have identity provider, we have account settings. Okay, now under user group, what does it mean by user group? User group actually means I want to create a group. So instead of me to be managing one, for example, now in where you were working before, which department were you working before, sir? Were you working? Are you even working now?
IT department.
Beautiful. IT department. Okay. That IT department, you know, is very broad. You can, I can say, okay, which aspect of IT department were you working with? You can say, okay, I'm in data analyst, Abi? Or
yes.
Okay, let's say IT department. IT department can be a group. So I can come here, I create a group for IT department. Then every right that IT department should have, I'll put it inside that group. So if anybody join the IT department, I don't need to give the person rights. I'll just carry that person and put it inside that group. So every right that is in that group, that person will have the rights to use. You understand? You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll only just give the person his username and password. I'll just add it to the group. That's the simplest way of creating an IT department. But there's an admin. Are you getting me? So, but for the first thing you need to create is admin group. The admin group means the people that will be responsible and accountable for the account, for the resources used. So if there's a problem, you don't need to go and meet the IT department. You meet the admin group. You say, okay, admin, what happened? So account was accessed by people, somebody that is not supposed to have access to it, and the person make use of these resources. Why? You know, it's not the admin department that you will now hold responsible and accountable. It's not the admin department that will not trace that person, because the admin department will be the person that created every group and every user. After the HRO, the next person is the admin group. That's why admin is always attached to HRO department. You understand me? So that is the user group. Then we have the user. The user means the person. It could be individual. It could also be a resources. I want a resources to do some tasks on my behalf. You know, we are in the world of artificial intelligence and robotics. So I may say, so I don't want to be doing some things. I want some IoT to be doing some resources, to be making use of some resources for me. So at that moment, that IoT will now become a user. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So the IoT will now become the user. So when I create individual, I can put an individual and give that person a right. So that person is a user. For example, now the owner of the company is not supposed to join any group. He's supposed to be on his own. You know what I mean? So you create the owner of the company, maybe Mr. Akim or Mr. Osato. You create my user, you give me all my rights. You understand me? So whenever I enter the group, anything I do, nobody should have access to it. I should not belong to any group. You understand me? You give me a super right. You understand me? So anybody, whether somebody or resources that is making use of the cloud infrastructure is a user. Then a role. and a policy. A role is the right you give to a resources to make use of your resources. Remember I mentioned now that a user can be an individual or a resources in the AWS cloud infrastructure.
Yes.
So when you allocate rights to that resources to make use of the cloud resources, it's called a role. Are you getting me? But when you give rights to a user to make use of a resources, it's called policy. So know the two difference. Most time roles are, a role is given to a resources. Maybe for example, now I can create a server now, and I want the server to be and I put some application in that server, and I want that server to be making use of, to be launching resources on my behalf, shutting down on my behalf. You understand me? Sending alert on my behalf. And then the right I will give to that server to be doing those things is called a role.
Okay.
Then if I create somebody like Mr. Olaiton now, and I give Mr. Olaiton rights to make use of my resources, is called policy. Both of them are policy, but just that one of them is talking about individuals, while the other one is specifically for a resources in the cloud.
Okay.
You understand me? Now we now have identity provider.
Role is for resources in the cloud, and
yes.
Policy is for user.
Yes. So now there's another one called identity provider. I can decide to give somebody rights, but that right I'm giving to that person, I don't want that person to log into the AWS for any reason. Are you getting me? But I want the person to be doing something with my infrastructure, but I don't want that person to have right to log in. So it will have rights to make use of the AWS infrastructure, but it will not have rights to log in through my console. You understand me?
Okay.
That thing is called sign-on rights. Are you getting me? It's called identity provider. So I can create a single sign-on, meaning a single identity that I will give to that person to be logging in into my resources. However, I can also have another application that I can add to my resources, that through that application, somebody can also log in to my AWS. Are you getting me? We have established trusted, you understand? We have different provider here. You have so many providers. That is a provider. The account settings, you know, when they say account settings, now you're talking about how to manage access, the area you want, the region you want it to be, the password policy. You know, password. If you want them to be changing password every 2-3 weeks, you do it. Then there will be you do an alert every 3 weeks. An alert will be sent to all the users to prompt them to change their password. Then you also tell them how you want their password to be changed, the kind of right, the kind of character their password is supposed to have. All these things you are doing, you are trying to secure your system. You understand me? You are securing your system. You understand? So this is where you do that. Then you can also give a user, so okay, you can enable. This is where you also enable all the aspects of AWS. For example, now you see we have EU, we have South America. You see all of them are active. You can see I've activated all the region for me. It's where you activate. I can decide to deactivate. If I deactivate it, meaning that person will not have right to go into that region to work. You understand me? So me, I activated all region because I want to have this freedom. Imagine they have added many parts. Before it was just London. Now we now have in EU. We now have in London, Paris, US. Okay. Now this, before I go continue, let's talk about one of the characteristics of cloud. We have the zone, we have the region, we have the zone, and we have the AWS availability zone. We have availability. We have availability zone. We have a region. We have available sub-region. You understand me? What do I mean by availability zone? What do I mean by a region? So the way they did it, remember what I was telling you, that if you put one resources in one cloud, if you put one resources in one data center, in one cloud infrastructure, they will share it to different region. You know, I told you something like that in different subnets for AWS.
Backup.
For backup. Now let me explain this to you now. AWS is categorized into 3 tiers. We have a tier in terms of geographical collections. You understand me? So we have a region. A region is like, I remember I mentioned just now that in Africa we have one region in Africa, which is in South Africa.
Okay.
Now in that South Africa, there are data centers in different parts of South Africa. They now group that data center into, they call it zone. You understand me? They now group that data center into zone. Some data center, some region has 3 zones. Some region has 2 zones. So in that zone, in that zone that they group those region, in that zone has data center attached to it. So when you combine data center together, you have a zone. Are you getting me? When you combine zone together, you now have a region. You understand? So what you see here, they are all region. We have the global endpoint. We have US East region, is in North Virginia. We have South Africa is in Cape Town. Africa's region is Cape Town. We have Asia. In Asia, they have about 5 regions in Asia. We have Asia Pacific. Asia, one is in Tokyo, one is in Seoul, one is in Osaka, one is in Mumbai, one is in Singapore, while one is in Sydney. In Canada, we only have one region in Canada. It's called in Canada region, in Southern Center. Then in Europe, we have more than, this is one of the reasons why I say we should come here. You understand? You are seeing the region. You understand me? So we are in Europe, we have in Frankfurt, we have in Stockholm, we have in Ireland, we have in London, we have in Paris. In South America, we only have one region in South America, it's in Sao Paulo. And you understand me? Then in US, we have in 3 regions in US. We have Ohio, not even 3, more than 3. We have one in North Virginia. We have East, we have this. So in all these regions, you see, there are zones under it. In all those zones, there is a sub-zone, which is called a domain. Are you getting me? That sub-zone is called a domain. You understand me? A availability domain. Now, how do they do the electrical work? Let me also use the opportunity to share this part with you. This is a first-hand information because I work in the data center before. Every server in every data center has more than 2 or 3 power sources going into it. And these 3 sources, they are coming from 3 different, this power source, coming into the data center, they are coming from 3 different dB. So one server like this has 3 power sources. The minimum of it is 2, but some has 3, some has 2. Why do they have 2? So that in case power goes down with one, the other one will take over. So that one that has 2 power sources is called 2 tiers. The one that has 3 power sources is called 3 tiers. Now, how do you know 3 tier? 3 tier methodology. Let me also tell you the tier concept. A tier concept is this: the amount of power, the fault tolerance a system has is what will determine the tier number. What do I mean by fault tolerance? The word fault tolerance actually means when there is a fault, the system the ability for a system to withstand fault, as in even when there is fault, but the system is still working well. You understand me? That process of making a system to work, even when the system has fault and is still working well, is called fault tolerance. Meaning the system is able to tolerate fault. You understand me? So and the number of fault tolerance, the kind of fault tolerance will determine the availability zone and the SLA. What is an SLA? SLA means service labor and agreement. Abi? Service labor agreement, or service labor agreement, depends on how you view it. So the thing is this: you are telling them that they are telling you that, like AWS is telling you that any resources you put in their data center will be available 99.99999 into 7. That's what they are assuring you, because they are operating in tier 3. What they are telling you, that it can never fail. That 1% that they remove, is what we call the act of God. You understand me? That the only thing that can destroy it is the act of God. So that's why they are giving you 99.999 into 7 place. But in tier 2, tier 2 is 99.95, 99.999995. You understand me? They will also have tier 3, tier 4. You understand me? So these are the things, but they are giving you the SLA is that your system is going to be available 99.99999 into 7. You know why they are doing that? Because they know that their servers has 3 power source, and these 3 power source are coming from the power that is supplying this 3 power source is not coming from one power grid. It's coming from 2 power grids.
It's coming from different grids.
You understand me? And apart from it's coming from 2 power grid, they also have a standby gen, and they have a UPS, double UPS, that is attached to their system. So in case the power grid goes off, the UPS, the generator will peak. The time it will take for UPS to peak, the generator to peak, the UPS is already taking charge, holding your system. And the kind of UPS they are using is not asynchronous UPS. They are using online UPS. Are you getting me? The switching time is so fast that the system will never notice it that there's a power failure. You understand? So that's why they are giving you that, because they know their server is going to be available, and that server, they are already back, because they are giving you a virtual machine. That does not mean that you cannot take your machine to their server. You can take that machine to the data center. It's allowed, but they don't always recommend it. They always tell you that anything you want to do, if you send your file to them, either you upload it from your data center or you put it in a box, and a security box that they will send to you. Put all your files there and send it to them. They will receive it, and they will decrypt it and put it in your server and send the username and the login to you. You understand me? So they are telling you that our data center is safe. We are giving you SLA of 99.999997. Are you getting me? So that is why security aspect is the major challenge with cloud, because the security we are talking about is you using it. You know what I mean? Most times, any system, if you are working for a company and you are a cloud engineer, they would personally bring a system for you, and there's a policy binding that system. You must not download. That system will have strong firewalls. You know what I mean? That you cannot just log in and be browsing anyhow. I'm going to every site anyhow. Because if a virus will enter your system and they'll be able to steal your credentials, it's going to affect the company. You understand me? Because when a hacker knows that you are working for a big company and you are in charge of their cloud resources, you are a target. Because they cannot attack. They are trying to attack AWS, so they are trying their best, but it's difficult for them to attack them. So they know that the most easiest person to attack is now you that is using the resources. You understand me? So now you understand the region, availability zone, and availability domain now. You understand it clearly, Abi?
Yes.
Okay. Now you
Yeah.
understand the IAM. You understand me? So let's go a little stronger. Now, access report, talking about the number of people that access your system. You have access analyzer. We have the active rule. We have the analyzers. We have the settings. We have the credentials report. Credentials talked about how people make use of their credentials. If there's a security breach, it will alert you. There was something I did last week. I was trying to log in. I was working with my GitHub. You understand me? So I had a file in my Terraform. I didn't know that, I created an account for just for practice sake. You understand me? So that access code to that account, and when I was committing, pushing it to GitHub, I pushed that file. Do you know AWS sent me a message that they saw their credentials in GitHub, that I should go and change that credentials, that I should not do it again. They sent me a mail.
Credential to create a GitHub?
No, the credentials, my AWS credentials for one of the users that I created for my practice. You understand me? Then when I was uploading my file to GitHub, I uploaded that file with it. So and the AWS they got alert that some credential that is still active is in GitHub, and then sent me a message that did I upload so far in GitHub that the credential in that GitHub is still in use, that I should go and change that credentials. You know what I did? Then I sent a policy to my account, that particular account that the credential was exposed. And then the policy they sent to that account is that account should not have the right to create any resources. So what I did, I have to go to my GitHub. I have to edit that credentials, delete it. Then I have to go to my that account. I was not even able to change the credentials of that account. So I have to log in as a root user. After logging as a root user, I have to remove that policy that they attached to that account. I have to edit it. I remove the policy. Then I now went to the credentials and I deleted the former credential and I created another credentials. Then I sent me a message again that thank you for the quick swift response. I think I still have the email. Let me show it to you. At least we are training. This is part of the practice. These are the things that you will say in your interview. And you understand me? That they will know that you are not just book. You know what you are doing. You have experience. These are the experience we are talking about. Now, I applaud AWS so much for that instances. You understand me? You know, he also gave me some relaxed mind that, oh, these people, yes, they are watching my back. Okay, this is it. This is my official email. Okay, action required, I think. Okay, this is my official email. Okay, you see, look, this is what I say. Look at what I sent. Can you read my screen?
Yes.
He said, hello, we have become aware that the AWS access, they now quoted the access code belonging to IAM user, this, along with the corresponding secret key, is publicly available in GitHub. Your security is important to us, and this exposure of your account, IAM credential, poses, you understand me? So they not told me what to do. Instantly, I went to do it. When I did it, look at what they sent. That thank you for taking action. We have verified that you have taken the appropriate measures to secure your account. This is another case details. So for you to know that anything you do with your AWS security is important. It's not something you should play with. That is why, as an admin user, you must know how to. In fact, your admin department, like there's a job role in a company. It's called cloud admin or AWS admin. Are you getting me? So with what I'm teaching you now, I'm teaching you admin. Are you getting me? So on our class, we're going to create a real life scenario and do this admin. So you're going to have fun. That's just be rest assured that after this class, when you are talking, I'm also going to show you some videos that you watch to really know the details, the granular details. You understand me? So when you are talking, based on your practice, you will fall in love with this course. If you are not yet in love with the course, you understand? So this is it. So these are the credentials reports, organization, and authentication. So this, as simple as this part is very, very key. Now let's go. Let's see how you create a group. We'll go to round up our class just with this. Let's see how you. I already have so many.
So we're only dealing with the admin today.
Yes, we'll do with admin today.
Okay.
Because I mentioned our class is supposed to be 1 hour 30 minutes. It's a 36 hours class. 36 hours class.
Okay.
24 session and
that we are
12 weeks.
I don't know that we have spent over an hour.
That's the interesting part now. That's the interesting part. We can remain here for 2 hours, 3 hours, but I don't really like.
Yes,
I don't really like piling up things. You understand me? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a group. Let's call this group Cloud Special. We are not supposed to put a space. And let's say cloud
underscore special.
Yes. Let's say capital letter C, Cloud Special, user group name. This is the name I'm creating. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's say it's asking me, this Cloud Special, what do you want? Do you want this Cloud Special as a group name to inherit any of this policy? You understand me? But me, I'm saying no.
Okay.
Because I want you to have it as a fresh class. Are you getting me? Cloud Special. So I want it to be free. I want it to have its own right. Now they're asking me, which policy do you want to which permission policy do you want to attach? They say they have 702 policy. No, before your class, for this class sake, I want us to give that Class Special and me right. Let's assume that Class Special is our head of admin. You understand me? So we'll give him admin right. What's an admin right? Admin right has the right to use of all the resources. So if I type admin here, I think I should be able to come out. Let's say admin. If you type it here, you see these are different admin rights. You see the different admin rights. This is the one I created for myself. This is an admin. I don't want to use this. Let's make use of this administrator access. You see this administrator access? You see this administrator access?
Yes.
It's what you are going to give to that right. Then by then you click the administrator access. We have so many admin. You see, we have network admin, we have AWS AWS FM admin full access, MFA or FMA admin access, network. We have network admin as administrator. We have different administrator. I will tell all the, we are in IT. All these ones are different IT departments. So they have already designed what would I call it? A default. That does not mean that we cannot do our own rights by ourselves. We can create a custom right by ourselves. Are you getting me? But let's start with this.
Yeah.
We'll start with this. Then I'll also tell you how to create a policy, because policy is written in JSON. It's called JavaScript on Node. You understand me? It's written in JSON. I'll teach you that. So now, what does admin right? What does it have? By the time you click here, you see all the rights that admin has. These are the permissions it has. You see, it will list all the permissions now. All the permissions that the administrator can do. See, he has the full right to activate account, to analyze, access analyzer, AMG. To look at everything, it's like it has 286 permissions. You see, full access. You know why? We want to give this person admin right because we don't want to be logging in as the owner of the account, as the root user. Every time we want to log in, it's not right. It's all that issue that happened. Assuming it was the admin rights that it happened, you understand me? And the admin credentials is exposed, and somebody have access to my admin and have access to my FA, assuming I didn't put MFA. So that account is gone. So we'll be dragging the account. Then I will now need to write to AWS that something happened. Then I will now need to create, because the way hackers behave these days, they can even hack your email. They'll hack your email, hack your account. That's the end. Because the thing you need to send, what you're going to use to send to AWS is your email. They already have it. The account you want to report, they already have the account. So what are you going to tell them that happened? How are you going to prove that it's your account? You understand me? And they can change the details. So that's why you have to be, you are not always advised to use this account, this root user. You're always advised to create an admin, somebody that have the capacity to do everything. So most times we call that person a super admin. Are you getting me? Or a superman. So that's what we are creating now. So we are giving the person a superman right, which is the super admin right. So this super admin right, we are saying everything that have to do with these cloud resources, have right to do it. You even have right to create an account for anybody. So these are the policy. So let's go back to our group that we are creating. Let's go back to the group we are creating. Where is the group now?
Okay.
It's still here. It's okay. So this is the admin full access. So I'm giving that right, that person the admin full access. I will say create group. So as I've created this group now, there is nobody in the group. Are you getting me? There is nobody in the group. So I have to create people, somebody that will be in charge of that group. Somebody I will have to be put. So anybody I put in that group, the person will have that right. So I'm creating a user now. A user is a person, an individual that can be verified. Understand me? So a username, I can say, let me call it Osato. You understand me? So I can add many users together. I can add another user. Let's call this Julius. But I always tell people to follow always use best practice. You know, in a company, a user always go with the surname. Abi, let's say Osato. Yes. My surname will be Patrick. Then this one should be Julius dot Olaiton. You understand me? I can decide to make it an email address at gmail.com or anything, or you understand me, at Olaiton. I can create as many users as I like in this group. Then they are not asking me, will this user only just going to be having access? How will this user be using this account? Will it be using it through using a code? I say yes. Will it be also be using it through logging through console? For programmers, they may not need console. They only need this. You understand me? But for administrators, you have the right to use both. Now it's not asking you, okay, if the person is logging through the console, what is the policy with the user? What is the policy? Okay, I want my password. I want to have my own person. I don't want that process of sending so many passwords. Let me create a password for it. Let's say password is okay. Yeah, I've already created a password. Then it's asking me, whenever this user enter this account, should the user change the password? The best practice is yes. So that when anything happens.
So that password will be as a default?
Yes, will not be a default password.
User can change it.
Yes, so that when he changes it, anything that happens, the person will not be responsible for that account. But if you give them your password and then somebody log into the account, it may say that it's the admin. So that by the time you go to your history, and there's an issue, you can trace who logged in, what did they do, and who did you attach that password to. You understand me? So that's why you always say send permission. But for me, okay, let's do that. Let's do it since we are practicing best practice. Now, he have accepted it. Now it's not telling me now. Okay, am I adding this person to a group? Am I copying a permission of an existing user to the person, or am I attaching existing policy directly to the user? These are the 3 ways you can give this user power to make use of the resources. So the person now is just, if the person should log in with those credentials, it will only just have the capacity to just log in and see what is going on. It will not be able to make use of any resources. That process is called least privilege. The least privilege is that you have the right to log in. Finish. Are you getting me? So I can give the person more privileges by attaching. Maybe our plan is to attach it to a group. This is the group we created now. We call it Cloud Special, Abi. Then this user now, the 2 users we created, then it says I should set permission boundaries. I can decide to set the permission boundary. I say create user without permission boundaries. I can say use boundaries to minimize. These boundaries can also be used despite the person belongs to this group. I can still decide to reduce the power of that person. And by doing that, I will come to boundaries. When I click here, I cannot specify what the person should not do and what the person should do. So by the time I do this, despite it belongs to that group, but we also have another permission. But now I don't want to set and I want you to use the permission that is already here. A tag is like a written letter that you attach to something so that you can remember that thing. You understand me? It's called a tag. You know, for example, remember you have a tag book. Whenever you are writing something, you just write something so that you can remember why you created that person, why you created that thing. So what's the name of the tag? You call it, the key should be a name. Then why did you create that thing? Okay, let's say Canada class training. You understand me? Then I now say review. So it's telling me now, oh, this person, Osato Patrick and Julius Olaiton, has right to log into your resources using either programmable access, CLI, or to also log in using the console. And the console password is custom. When the person log in, this person should change password. and there's no permission boundary. The group it belongs to is called class special, and the management is called IM change password. That's the policy. That's the managed policy, this password policy. Is it okay? I'll say yes. They will not say create. Now, as it has created, both of them have been created. I'm supposed to send this email to the person. If I download this file will have all the credentials of the person, of the account we created. So if I download, you can download as many as you like. Understand me? You can download as many as you like. Let's open this file. Sorry. Let's open it in the show in the folder. Let's show in the folder. So the file will come here now. See, it said new user credentials. Abi? Yes, these are the files. So by the time I open it with Notepad, they did it in a way that anything can open it. Any text editing file can open it. Let me open it with Notepad. You see, the username is and password and access key and everything. What's the username? Osatoame Patrick. What's the other username? Olaiton. This is their access key. I'm going to delete. I'm using this. I'm going to delete. You see this access key you see now? It's wrong for me to show it. This access key and this thing is very wrong for me to show it. But I'm showing it because of our class. Because I'm going to delete all this access key. Because somebody can log into my cloud now and be using it. So I'm going to delete this because I've already exposed this access key. I'm going to delete these two people. But I just show you so that you will know what is going on. You understand me? So good. Okay. This is what I will now send as email to the person. Like when I click send as email just now, it opened an email, my default email. This is my, when I say send as email, it opened my default email. And you already composed the email. So if you are using Outlook, it will open the Outlook. So look at what he just sent. He say, hello, you now have access to AWS console account ending 2169. This is what you are going to use. Go to the website and sign in this. We're using this console. Put this thing in your URL. And by the time you put this in your URL, then use this name to sign in. He said the password has been sent to you. He said your password will be provided separately by your administrator during your first signing. You know that password we created? So what I'm going to send to them. Okay. You understand me? That password we created is what I'm going to send to them. And after sending that password to them, then they will not log in the first time. Immediately they finish logging in, they will prompt them. Okay, let's try it. Let's not talk much.
They will prompt them to change the
Let's just go. Let's just go now. Let me use another browser. Let me use another browser. Because if I use this same browser, it will automatically log me in because the way I configure the browser. Okay, I've entered here. Now, watch. Control. So it will take me straight to AWS now. So it has took me straight to AWS. You understand? Now, you see, Gemo World Technica. This Gemo World Technica is my alias. You understand me? So the name of the person, I will not come here. What's the name of the shareman? The name is you see, they did not send they did not send the person the password, they didn't send the person anything. You noticed they didn't send him any, they didn't send, so the person is supposed to call me, then I will not send that thing to him separately. Then the password, then I'll sign in. So the minute I sign in, I see what it's asking. Change your password immediately. So I will now come here. The old password is, the new password is okay, confirm. So you see, the person can now log in to AWS.
And make use of these resources that you attach to him.
Yes, all the resources are attached to him. Since the person is an admin user, he'll be able to use all the resources because it's an admin user. But if I have restricted restricted him, anytime he wants to do some things, the AWS will tell him that he don't have permission to do that. So this is, I think we can stop this class now. We have spent 3 minutes ahead. But let's just give it some 15 minutes extra. Okay, now you see we have created a user, we have added the user to the group, we have